Hi, and welcome back to Team J Classroom Fun's YouTube page. I am Jordan, and today I'm continuing on with our series on math rotations. Make sure you subscribe and like so that you don't miss out on any content and so that you can see more on this topic as I go. Last time when I talked with you, we talked about the why behind math rotations and why I switched to this different way of instruction. So if you missed that video, feel free to go back and watch it. It kind of explains how I came to this and why I decided I need to switch from what I was previously doing. Today, we're going to start getting into how actually to do it. So let's go ahead and take a peek at what we're going to cover today. Now, for today, we are going to be talking about math pretests. Now, as we talk about math pretests, what we're going to be doing is talking about how you can create them and also how you can use them to eventually form your groups. So as I mentioned today, we're doing math pretests. Next time, we'll be talking about how to use those pretests and to use them so that you can form your groups. Then we'll go into mini lessons, then the process of the rotations, and then actual rotation activities. Again, my hope is that by the time you're done with this series, if you're interested, you'll feel comfortable in trying this out in your own classroom, and you'll have some tools and some ideas and some starting points of where to go. So for today, we're going to be talking about tests. And I know we all hear the word assessment and we're like, oh, not more assessments. I know. But for math rotations to work, it really is important that we assess the kids to see where they're at before we teach the instruction. Here's the thing. Johnny might be fantastic at addition. He might be fantastic at subtraction. Geometry might not be his strong suit. Well, we need to know that so that we can make sure we're giving Johnny what he needs and we're putting him in the group where he'll be able to work on the skills that he needs. And that's where the pretests come into play. What I would do before I started a new unit is a few days before I would give a pretest. And the big thing with this, and I made sure to go over this with the students, is this is not graded for the grade book. This is it's a formative assessment, right? This is just for me as a teacher to inform my instruction and to know what you need help with and what you know. Because kids, you say, here's a pretest, they immediately freak out, right? They're like, I don't know the things on here. That's okay. It's not for the grade book. It's not even, I don't even send them home. It's for me to know where you're at before I start teaching so I know what you need to know. Because not only will this help you form your groups, this will also help you know what part of the skills do they already know and what part do they still need help with. Because sometimes, some of the kids, it's like they come in with some great background knowledge on some of these things, and they maybe don't need as much in certain areas of a skill. You need to know that. As I mentioned, it's important when forming the flexible groups. I use these pretests as a way to know, okay, someone is here, they know this, okay, they don't know this, okay, I'm going to put them here so they can get what they need. Another thing I want to point out to you, when you give the pretest to them, in addition to explaining to them that it's not going in the grade book and that it's just for you to look at to help you know what they need to know it's okay if they don't know everything. When I create a pretest, I look at my standards. I currently teach second grade. And I think and look at what do they need to know by the end of the unit on this specific set of skills. So when they're taking this pretest and I haven't taught them anything on it, is there going to be things they don't know? Probably. And that's okay. Because I can't tell you how many times I handed out a pretest and the kids are like, but I don't know this one and I don't know what that is and I don't even know what this word means. It's okay. We're going to learn it. But then there are some kids that do know what those things are. And it's good to know that they already know it so that you know where to take them next so they can also continue to grow. So again, I explain to them, it's okay if you don't know everything on the pretest. I also tell them you can even write, I don't know. Now I do want them to try, right? I don't just want them writing, I don't know on all the questions, but it's okay if they don't know. And I don't want them to sit there for 30 minutes or stress out over it, right? I'm still going to teach them these things, but this just tells me who knows things, who doesn't, who knows some things, who knows, some parts of the skill, and it helps me know where to go next. Here's an example of one of the pretests that I created for time. As you can see, these are short, they're not fancy, okay? So for this, I always would give one before I started every major unit. So for example, at one of the schools, we did place value, and then we moved into addition and subtraction, then we moved into geometry, then graphing, then multiplication, division, money, and time. And so these were kind of the big areas that we covered, and so my pretest covered this. Now, With that being said, are you probably going to be able to cover every teeny tiny little skill on the pretest? No. The pretest should be short. Like I always kept mine to a page. And like by a page, I mean like one side of a page. It's not meant to be super long, but you want to put a few questions on there where you know, like, okay, yes, they know this. Okay, no, they don't know this. So, for example, with this one here, you can see about telling time. One of the big things where I was at teaching second grade is they actually needed to know time to the minute. I know where I'm at now, it's to the 5 minutes, but there it was 1 minute. And so on here, I had questions with that. I also had where I had them have to be able to identify the time and then also be able to show and draw the time, because those are two different skills. The next thing that we had, and again, this was a school I was at a while ago, they needed to know elapsed time. And so I also put two-word problems on there that fit that. So again, these are three quick things. Is this going to show me everything they know? No, but it's going to give me a snapshot of where they're at so that I can put them in the group that's right for them. Here's two more examples. Actually, no, sorry, this is still the same test. So this is still the telling time test, and you can see what I do when I'm done. So obviously I check through the child's test. You can see this child wrote, do not know, do not know. Fine, that's okay that you don't know. I'm going to eventually teach you that, right? That's part of what I'm going to be teaching you. So then what I would do is I would take the kids' test and I would then go through and say, okay, these kids need help with this. These kids need this one. These kids need this one. It also shows you like, is there something where like the whole class is like not sure yet? Is there something where maybe there's only like one or two kids and you could just pull a quick, group once or twice and they can get that skill. So this also will help kind of drive your instruction of where you need to go next. Okay, next time we're going to talk more about how to take those pretests like you just saw, and then how to take that information and how to create flexible groups so that you can actually begin instructing and pulling rotations. So make sure you check back for that next time. I'll be posting that soon. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. You can also reach out to me on my Instagram page at teamjclassroomfun. I have a blog as well with more information, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Talk to you later.